Hey, friends. Welcome to the podcast. Everybody take 5.
Well, no, you're going to take the whole time of this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Everybody take the podcast.
This is your relaxing time.
There is.
So you get more than 5 minutes.
Let's see, how long is this podcast? I don't know, but it's about average, I guess.
You get enough.
I'll tell you this. It's a kind of podcast where I'm proud to be an American. And it starts there. I'm going to explain to you why America.
Well, with all this royal talk, you really want Obi's opinion on it and his thoughts concerning it.
Oh, we also talk about the Grand Tour again because we watched some. The Apple App Store, vegan steak, Young Frankenstein, The Bachelor. I talk a little more about being depressed, Stranger Things, Nikki's plans for the weekend.
Oh, there we are. And is anybody going? Does anybody want to come?
I also
Let's have a meetup.
Let's meet. Yeah. Dude, it's a tweet up.
I don't want to go by myself. Let's just meet there.
And then I have a T-shirt question.
Okay.
That I threw on the table there. So
well, hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. We're getting ready to do a RIOT. What do we call it? The after show?
Yes.
We're doing a RIOT food fight, but after show edition with items that Jim sent from Italy and Malta. So we're going to be taste testing some of those items. So by the time you get this podcast, that'll be over, but you can still watch it anytime you want to. It's on our Facebook page at RadioU RIOT and RadioU. And of course, we'll talk about that more tomorrow during the podcast.
All right. Got anything else?
Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You know that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the British royal family. Don't care. Just don't care.
And he really doesn't like it when it just becomes the news.
It's all
the news.
It drives me insane, but I'm loving this.
How come?
I'm loving it. I'll tell you exactly why. If you haven't been following Meghan Markle, on Suits on the USA Network, USA, USA, USA.
I don't think it's like that.
It is now. All right, she married Prince Harry.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody gets those details.
Okay, you got all that.
Got all that. Those people.
Yesterday, they made an announcement that they are quitting as senior members of the royal family, a.k.a. all the work that comes with it.
The responsibilities of that.
They're done, and they say they're working to become financially independent. And I'll tell you what I love about this, Nikki, right now. America got in there, and you know what they did? What? We went
what
over
did we
there.
Do?
Wait. Listen. We joined the royal family.
Yeah.
And then we declared independence from the royal family.
They broke up the royal family.
We were like, you know what? This has been great. We don't want to be a part of this institution, and we want to become financially independent. That's America, baby.
I think it's even more because
that's America.
While they were stating that they want to be financially independent, but still have certain things that come from that side, though. So the best of both, right?
That's America too, Nikki. It is. We came over with some riches from the UK or whatever, but we also carved out our own place. And, of course, we have our heritage of democracy and blah, 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 and whatever. I don't know. But see, man, you took an American, you put him in the UK, and they were like, you know what? We don't need a queen. I don't want a bunch of royals telling me what to do.
That's the spirit.
I've had it. And they broke out of the royal family. Yes!
They said didn't even tell them ahead of time.
They just put it on Instagram. That's so American. Right?
It is.
I love everything about it, Nikki. I love everything about it.
That's a unique approach to what we've been hearing.
Way to go, Meghan Markle. The only way that got any better is if she somehow managed to become queen
while
and
doing
then
all that?
Disband the monarchy. That's the only way it gets any better.
Oh, to do the whole thing. Well, this again is all the news that you'll be hearing about probably through the weekend.
They're just like, yeah, we're out. So think about this. Everybody's like, oh, it's the dream of every little girl to become a princess. So she becomes a quote-unquote princess. Not really. She's a duchess. And she's like, yeah, you know what? Not so much. We're out. See ya.
So they're not sure if
Being royal sucks.
So they're not sure if they'll keep if the big question is, will the title be taken away from them?
They don't even care.
Well, no, I mean, they still...
No, they don't care.
But they still want the house that they have. But that was paid for by citizens there. So that's the problem. And they still want security, which would be paid for by that.
Well, I mean, they're still royals, but, like, that's what happens.
Not if they get their thing taken away.
No, well, maybe that happens. But, like, look throughout history. The problem here is that it's an Instagram thing. Like, you can look throughout history and find royals doing just this, where they're like, hey, I don't want anything to do with it. Who was the one guy that, like, went and lived in exile? He abdicated the throne. He's like, I'm out. I'm just going to go live wherever. And he was, like, the Duke of Nothing. And he just... like, enjoyed his life.
Yeah.
That's basically what they want. They just didn't ask first. America, baby.
Thanks for your take on this.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know, Nikki,
But
now that we're just talking about UK things, that's the show now. The Riot is doing nothing but talking about things that happen in the UK.
see, all this royal breakup stuff is causing problems?
That's right. Like, I'm excited. It's ironic that we're becoming more dependent on them even as we become more independent. What does it even mean? So, Nikki, did you watch any of the Grand Tour special yet?
Not yet. I didn't have time yesterday.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
I watched half of it.
Half of it?
I basically hit a point where I was like, this is a good breaking point. And so that was at about the 45-minute mark. So I think I'm going to do the rest of it today. But
it came out before Christmas.
Had
and
no idea.
We had no idea. And it's what they're calling like season 4, but it's not a season. It's just
a 90-minute.
It's a 90-minute special, which is what the show was turning into instead of doing like, 8 or 10 episodes.
3 British guys. It's basically a travel log. They decide they want to take these boats and take the boats from like some point. I can't remember where they started.
Cambodia, wasn't
but like
it?
I don't know if they started in Cambodia or not, but they end up going through Cambodia into Vietnam. And
which, going back to Top Gear, is a classic. The
Yeah,
Vietnam special is an older one, but classic.
So good. It's not as good as that.
I know.
I don't understand. I think it's just that they don't have the same writers or producers or something. Like, it was pretty good. Like, I enjoyed it. I have full intentions of going and finishing it up tonight. It's only on Amazon if you care. But I mean, it was really entertaining, but it was also just not as good.
Now, that could be because we've been out of it for a while. Maybe. And it's just not the same anymore.
It's just one of those things where you're like, this, like, the banter feels off. Like, something about it is just not quite right. Even though, I mean, it is spot on an old Top Gear special. Like, they...
Are they trying too hard?
I don't know.
Sometimes it doesn't work out.
I don't know. Or, you know what? The reality of it is, I mean, look at the Riot. Like, they had their golden time. They were really, really good. And now they're still at it. But everybody knows they've really lost a step.
Well, what if it's not them? What if it's you've changed? It could be.
What if it is?
What if it's you?
What if it is? What if I'm just now all of a sudden I'm immune to their charms?
Oh, no. It's not funny anymore.
Oh, no. How can this be?
And then, because I want to watch that this weekend. And then, like I mentioned, James May has a special.
Yeah, I want to check that out, too.
Where he's traveling throughout Japan. And James May is like this old guy who really gets some good comments out.
He has only gotten older and, like, crotchetier.
Yes, that's it. like crusty, like just very much he is who he is, and his comments reflect that.
I don't remember what he said last night, but I was just like, oh, dude, that's some classic, like, grumpy old man.
And it's funny. When they're traveling, it's funny to watch.
It actually was really funny. Now, wait, is that the Goes to Japan thing? Is that on Amazon or is that a BBC thing?
No, that's on it, and it's what was it, 6 or 7 episodes maybe? That's a season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that has more episodes.
So it's not just,
No, that's a traditional season.
And what is Amazon doing coming up with shows I want to watch? Stop it. Oh, yep, there it is. James May, Our Man in Japan.
That's the one.
I need to
I'm more interested in that to see how it is.
I'm going to add that to the watch list. You know what? I'm going to love that. I can already tell.
You love Japan.
Shoot.
I mean, it's going to be everything.
All right.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I feel like we do this exact same news story once a month. I do. I know we don't, but
it feels like it?
Yeah. Oscar Mayer is hiring drivers for the Wienermobile.
I don't feel like it's once a month, but it's definitely once a year, and now it's the time.
Isn't it more than that, though?
No, I don't think
we
so.
do it more than that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe you. Nikki remembers things better than I do. So here's the deal. Oscar Mayer is now hiring for someone to drive the Wienermobile.
So usually they set the call out now because they're going to be hiring for probably the summertime to be driving around the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
They say it's a 1-year contract.
It's a lot.
It's not just that you're going to do it for the summer. You're going to do it all year. So you will be a brand ambassador. So it's going to be your job to literally, like, you're going to spend a year driving that big hot dog bus
around the country,
all over the country. And you will be running stuff on Instagram. You'll be doing public appearances.
Think of it more like you're the social media director for the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, and you're doing it actually on site.
Charity events. Like, you're going to be all over the place handing out wiener whistles and potentially grilling some hot dogs. Plus, okay, that's interesting. They say in this that you have to pitch coverage ideas to local news outlets. What that means, I always thought of that as kind of the other way around, but no, it's not.
I thought they'd have a firm that did that.
That's what I thought.
A PR firm, but now they're cutting costs.
And they're going direct to you.
Dogs.
Well, the reason we know this is that, they don't do it anymore, but Nintendo used to do a bus,
traveling thing.
Like that they would come through once or twice a year, and there was a PR firm that would contact us, and then there were some people that it was their job to live on the bus, and you would go see them on the bus, and et cetera, et cetera.
So this is the same thing, but it'd be your responsibility. You'd be like, okay, I'm coming into blank city. Before you would get there, you would know to try to set up local news so they could come out and do a story about what you're doing.
Man, that's got to be a heck of a job.
It's probably fun.
No, I get that. But I mean, just like the routing and the booking and the setting up the interviews, like all of that stuff, that'd be a lot of work.
But here's the key. It's not the first year they've done this. So they got all the info.
They got contacts. They got the stuff.
You're coming in and you just use what they used last year.
Man, that's true, too. Like, you don't have to do the actual hard work.
It's probably somewhere already.
Well, it's out there.
And I think you get paid, don't you?
Yeah, you get paid. You get paid. I don't know what you get paid.
It's not in hot dogs. You must get actual money.
Yeah. Though you will probably also get some free hot dogs.
No, you're probably going to be sick of it.
No, Nikki, as a brand ambassador, you're not allowed to be sick of it.
You're not allowed to say that, but what you'll do is once your year's over, you could totally do a book deal. Be like, my year on the bus.
Actually?
And then tell the tales of, like, how is it on the road for the Oscar Mayer person?
I'll bet you signed some kind ofางthat you can't do that.
Well, the agreements usually only last so long.
Right.
So if you can wait it out, then you can write your book deal or
in 20 years,
do something.
You can sell your hot dog story.
And spill all the tea.
Something tells me not that interesting.
Oh, I bet it is.
I'm sure it's fun or whatever, but okay, let me ask you a question, Nikki. If I had a book in my hand that was 1 year of a girl driving across the country giving out free hot dogs, do you want to read it?
You need to make a spin on it.
No.
Yes, you do.
No. You're right.
What if there's like drugs and all this stuff?
Now
like, what if it's bad?
Right there.
Money
you're right.
laundering, all this really shady stuff.
You know what? It needs to be a novel. You take your experiences, you write what you know, but you embellish it just a little bit.
If not, it's some sort of undercover like Twitter account or Instagram account, and you just post it all there.
Something.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's The Riot on Radio U.
I mean, looking at pictures from the Consumer Electronics Show, there's actually two different ones that I've looked at. And not photos, I mean 2 items. They are air taxis. So there was one from Uber, I believe, and then this one is from Bell. It's called the Bell Nexus 4EX air taxi. And so basically, I mean, I guess they're helicopters, but they look like drones, like large drones. And they carry 3 or 4 people. I mean, like, they freaking look like the future, okay?
This ticks all the boxes of what you think it would look like and what we should be driving and flying in.
I mean, forget about, what's-his-face in his Cybertruck. This looks like the future, dude.
So basically, it can carry up to 5 passengers for 60 miles at a speed of around 150 miles per hour.
Look at how awesome the pilot seat is.
And what they want to do is start this within the next 5 years. And Bell is a part of Uber Elevate, which for Uber Elevate is like their helicopter sky sort of concept that they do.
Dude, it legit looks like, maybe
every
not
movie
entirely.
thing. Yeah, every movie space thing.
It makes me think of an Avengers Quinjet. Like, it's not exactly that, but there's some of it there for sure. Okay.
You're totally into that?
Nikki, I love what we do here. I genuinely love being on the Riot, but I'm quitting and I'm flying one of those.
You want to be the driver? Well, it doesn't probably need a driver.
No, it does.
It does?
It does. Yeah, if you scroll down, you'll see pictures of the flying seat and like the triple window and it's sweet.
So that'll be Obi's next venture in the next few years.
Dude, legit, that looks so freaking awesome. Like, so awesome. I want to do that. Maybe, but you know what? With Uber, this is fine. I'll just buy one, and that'll be my side gig. So, like, I'll do the rides.
You're an Uber driver still. Yeah,
and I'll be an Uber driver, like, after the show.
So, for the flying taxi, it has the power lift concept, which is the 4 tilting, the big, it looks like fans on the side of an item, and then they lift it up.
Yeah.
And it can be configured as a hybrid electric or all electric.
Dude, it's awesome.
Looks good.
It's so awesome.
All right, well, start getting ready. Again, they said in the next 5 years, these air taxis could start trying to be a thing.
You know, Nikki, to quote the former president of Nintendo, one Reggie Fils-Aimé, my body is ready.
You're ready? Well, then this seems like a right thing for you.
I am ready.
Leah just texted, said, can we please do the Riot from the helicopter?
Yes.
We could.
We should. We will.
Give it
probably
a long time, though.
Give
I don't feel
time.
like this is even, like in 5 years, it's like it's just starting.
Yeah.
Not you're using it, but it's just trying to get out there.
So what do you think, 10 years?
Probably. That seems more about right.
Okay.
And again, it depends on where your city is. Like, I never get an Uber airlift. Like, you're not going to have it.
Man, that's real. Like, on vacation before, I've been in places where, like, Uber just isn't really. You're, like, on the app just waiting. Like, this is not happening, is it? No, it's not. Not happening.
The drone will never fly to you.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Seems like a lot of people might have gotten themselves an Apple device
over the holidays.
Because Apple just announced that they set a record between Christmas and New Year. They had, this is crazy, in the App Store, the Apple App Store. Now, keep in mind the App Store is going to count Macs, iPhones, iPods, iPads, and Apple TVs.
Sure.
Like that, those exist across all those platforms. They set a record. $1.42 billion was spent in the App Store
that week
between Christmas and New Year.
What all are we buying? That's a lot of money.
I don't know. And I started thinking, like, did I buy anything? And what I don't know.
So that doesn't even count like movies and stuff. That's just in the App Store.
I don't believe so. I think it's just apps. It's wild. I don't think I've paid.
Maybe it's in-game.
Well,
it would count that. So it could be that.
It would count that. So, if you downloaded something with in-app purchases, that's also going to count.
I still try to get all my apps for free, so I don't like paying for anything.
I don't think with my Apple TV and my
Your
MacBook,
Mac?
I don't think that I've bought any apps. No bots. I mean, I've certainly subscribed to things and whatever. But no purchased apps from the App Store.
Well, plenty of others have filled in, so they're fine.
Yeah, they're not hurting, obviously.
So that was a record-setting week?
Oh, you know what, though? Okay, here's a question. Apple TV is an app.
Yeah.
So if you made a purchase inside Apple TV, would
No.
that count as a... No.
I know what you're saying.
No, but...
I doubt. I think it's just if you're purchasing an app or, and the in-app purchases. I'm not sure.
That would be inside an app that you downloaded from the App Store. And so, woo-doo-doo-doo.
Listen, all we know is that's a lot of money. So they had a record-setting week between Christmas and New Year's for anything through the App Store.
Also, they had a record-setting day, New Year's Day, 2020. $386 million spent in the App Store.
I wish they'd give you a breakdown of what was the apps that were so highly downloaded or paid for?
I don't know.
What am I missing out on? What should I have?
What am I not buying?
What game am I missing out?
155 countries accessed the App Store. And, well, as you can see,
It's working.
They making money.
It's just fine.
So congratulations to them.
Did anybody download anything fun? I'm still looking for a fun game or something new, sparkly. I don't know.
I feel like I've given up on
apps?
On phone games because I feel like every time I find one that I think I like, I never actually use it. And here's the lame, soft, real reason why. Because if I have downtime with my phone, I use it to work on this show. So, I have an RSS reader. So, that's how I...
change that. Let's get you something.
I thought there for a while. I mean, this is 2 years ago. Tiny Death Star had its hooks in me for a while.
You like that one?
I did. But even that was they really, really push you to spend money, which I get it. They're giving it away for free. They have to make money. I get that. But when I just kept hitting the paywall, I was like, you know what? What am I doing?
Yeah, you couldn't play the game enough.
What am I doing right now? This is enough. Let's see. Manny says Disney Emoji Blitz.
We could do that.
I don't know. That sounds like get smileys on your chat.
No, it's a game. I've seen it before.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if anybody has any options, or did you actually download anything during that illustrious week?
You should tell us.
For Apple, you just let us know. You can text 877 to RadioU.
Nikki and I are here, and we'll judge you on your choices.
No, but we're always happy to take a pause and download and try whatever you guys are doing.
Yeah, and if you're on Android, so am I, so feel free.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're on the other one.
The other one.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
Okay, Nikki, let's you and I have a conversation about vegan people.
Yes.
They're the worst. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's kidding.
Okay. What do you think the population is of the United States that's vegan? 5%? 10%?
I think I heard a report that it's grown from 2 to 6 or something. So it's had a big increase.
There must be a lot of money in it.
There's a lot of products now that make it more easier and attractive for someone to move towards that.
That's why I say there must be a lot of money in it. Because, again, Nikki and I sit in here looking at the news, and it's there's a new vegan this or vegetarian that, and I know they're not the same thing, but frequently.
Yeah.
And so that means if they're making products like that, there must be money in that.
It's also very attractive now. People will have vegan items, but don't necessarily live an entirely vegan lifestyle.
Sure.
But they make different choices, sometimes on different days.
Well, TGI Fridays in the UK. Oh, my gosh, we're back on the UK. It never ends. They have announced their brand new vegan steak. Which
I thought it was pineapple at first, but I was close.
It looks like a huge piece of pineapple.
It does.
But that's not what it is.
Which grilled pineapple, by the way,
it's good.
Is amazing.
I don't even really like pineapple, but a grilled pineapple, okay, sure. This is grilled. I just want to be clear. They're calling it steak, but it's actually just grilled watermelon.
But it's steaks as in steak size. So maybe that counts as a shape size. I don't know.
See, okay. I don't know what watermelon costs in the UK, but from where I'm sitting...
This should be free.
I mean, a whole watermelon during watermelon season in the United States is what? $4? $5? They want to charge me steak-like prices for a slice of watermelon that they have grilled and seasoned. That's it.
Now, I don't know what the price will be, but you can imagine
what the price is.
If you eat any alternative items, they'd still always charge you way more than I think they should. So they're going to take watermelon, marinated in garlic, and seasoned with a spicy sriracha blend. Then the slices will be grilled so it looks like a steak-like texture. and that'll be in the
looks
UK.
like.
It'll come with fries and vegetables and an avocado sauce.
Okay. All right.
So no word on if this will expand to other areas, but it sounds amazing. But as long as they don't charge you whatever the way too much that it should be.
So it marinates in, what did you call it?
The garlic and like a sriracha thing.
Well, that is one thing that I know about watermelon from working at a farm market, that whatever you soak it in, it very much takes on the flavor of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, we had a guy that he would always get excited about watermelons, and he would cut a hole in it, and then he would just pour things in it. Let it marinate.
I understand what you're saying. I understand.
The watermelon.
No, he's not marinating with the same marinade that these guys are.
Exactly.
So he was doing something else with it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an option. You can always do this at home easily.
Sure. There you go. I am.
You're caught up on the wording, aren't you?
No,
is that it?
It's a combination of the wording and the price.
You don't know the price.
No, but you know.
Don't point.
You don't
point at me.
I am pointing.
I'm not making the combo.
Here comes two fingers.
You're putting two fingers.
You know.
Point at them. Don't point at me.
Well, Nikki, you're right in front of me. What am I supposed to point over here? You know. It doesn't work.
Get on the TGI Fridays Facebook page for the UK. That's where you can point your frustration and questions at.
I just want us to stop lying to each other. This is a lie. Just call it watermelon steak. Or, nope. Just call it grilled watermelon.
Grilled watermelon.
Because that's what it is.
And don't charge me steak-like prices.
What are we doing? A rose by any other name is still
Why you go
a
online,
watermelon steak.
Go find the TGI Fridays UK website and see if they post the price there.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
My dark, ugly heart thinks that no one cares about live musicals, but the numbers say otherwise.
Well, I don't know if they pull on the best numbers. I think it just fills in enough.
No. I'm telling you that no matter what you thought of The Little Mermaid live...
People still watched it?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
I don't have the numbers for that, but I can tell you that it was the most watched made-for-TV musical in the last 5 years.
Yeah, but how many are there?
More than you think.
How big is the competition?
Remember, Nikki, networks are scrambling for a way to get you to watch, and there are very few things that we're willing to accept live.
With musicals, it's nice because... I mean, like, they already have it. Like, they're not making something from scratch. Meaning, like, it's new. Like, it's just a remake.
It is. But I don't know.
I thought The Little Mermaid was better because they actually put the movie in with it.
I think it was an interesting hybrid. And I didn't watch the entire thing. I think I watched, up through the guys on the boat. The wonderful fathoms below.
That was it.
Below. That was it. No, maybe I got to one more than that. But, I hit a point where I was just like, you know what?
Oh, you've seen it. And
I would rather just watch the movie. And I don't even really want to watch the movie that much. So
you were out.
I'm done here. But they have just announced that ABC has got another one coming.
What are they doing?
They're going to do Young Frankenstein.
Is that a movie? Or
Okay, Young Frankenstein. I have heard of it, but I've never seen it. It's a Mel Brooks movie from the 70s, I think. And that's a comedy. If you don't know Mel Brooks, he's well known for he's probably not well known now, but Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, History of the World, comedies. So they apparently made a Broadway musical out of this. It was not a huge success on Broadway, though the film is fairly well known. So they're going to take that Broadway musical,
make it a
live ABC television event.
When will that air? I don't know if I feel like, when does that fit?
What if you did Young Frankenstein around Halloween?
Well, that's the only time. But I guess if they're talking about it now, I feel like it must come sooner. Is that like an Easter one?
They typically get way out in front of these.
Oh, it'll take that long.
Like the Little Mermaid one, they announced almost a year before they actually did it.
Halloween it fits, but no other time.
Let me see. Does it say when it's going to be happening? Young Frankenstein live.
Well, while you're looking, Jen's in. She says Young Frankenstein's one of my favorites. So,
okay.
Jen, that's coming to ABC.
Young Frankenstein, it's alive, or Young Frankenstein live. No cast has been announced. No date has been announced.
Just that they're doing that one?
This article says they announced the Little Mermaid musical a full year out, which I remember them doing that. So
I guess we'll find out what happens.
I'll bet. I mean, we don't know, but I'll bet we see it in October. Because that's a good one. That's actually, from a programming stance, that's a good thing. You know that live musicals kind of work. You need something that is Halloween, so it should feel scary. Frankenstein's scary, but not too scary, so it's a comedy.
You want a funny scary.
Because I want the whole family to watch, because I need to sell ads to a lot of different people, and this will give those advertisers a chance to start selling their, well, it's not Christmas yet, but we're starting our Black Friday and October sale. It's got everything, Nikki.
Well, look at that. You've got it already set up.
All right. Get me on the phone with the advertisers. I'm ready to get this thing started.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I hate The Bachelor. And I hate The Bachelorette.
That's a strong statement.
I'm just being honest with you. Like, if you watch it, that's fine. It's your thing. You know what? I hate everything. So don't feel bad about it being your thing.
But maybe that'll make people feel better. Like, it's not anything against what you might like. He just dislikes most things across the board.
Yeah. And in fairness, I mean, it's a combination of my regard for marriage, my ethical stance on various issues, and the fact that it just feels really dumb.
But for The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, like, a lot of people still watch it.
Yeah.
And they have parties to watch it. And they're way into it.
And before we get there, I just want to throw this out there. For those of you that feel like I'm a huge hypocrite for, on the one hand, John Wick is actually diametrically opposed to many ethics I hold dear. And yet I watch John Wick
and appreciate him, too.
Like double tap people in the head over a dog like it matters. So
It does.
What I'm saying is I have no high ground.
Sure, you got no real high ground to stand on?
No, I have the high ground. I don't.
Maybe you'll like this. Maybe this is a better option for you, because you know what you like more than dating stuff?
Gosh, what?
You like music shows, competitions.
I hate those too.
This is the perfect storm for you.
I can't stand live music. Like, let's see what Kelly Clarkson thinks about my singing.
So this is...
She can coach me.
The Bachelor, obviously a show. And then The Bachelorette, obviously a show. That's the spin-off sort of thing. There's a new spin-off that ABC has announced called The Bachelor, Listen to Your Heart.
What does that mean?
So basically, you get 20 single men and women who are all musicians. You put them together. They pair up with dating, and then they perform as that group that's been put together. And that's the music competition.
Okay, so all right. So they're gonna date each other and be musicians.
First, you're kind of the competition is dating, where who gets put together in what group, and from there, then as a group, as the couple, then you move on into the music part of the competition.
I have often wondered, like, when we see paired musicians that are married. So, like, for example, Tim from House of Heroes married Stephanie Smith, I think was her stage name. And she actually was on The Voice last year, I think. And the two of them have their own band called Copper Lily. So they make their own music. And I've wondered about that process. And Tim says they fight a lot.
Oh, the music process?
Right.
Not just like day to day.
No. But like he said, when they're writing music, he's like, they'll fight about the music.
This will be like two strangers, though. Like you're a couple, but you're a new couple.
Right.
So I wonder how it'll be.
And I mean, again, I don't mean this in a bad way. I love artists, but oftentimes artists are creative. They have a vision for something, and they can be very uncompromising about their vision, which, by the way, is not bad.
You put two together, though.
Exactly.
And that's why they're making it a show.
So, you know what's funny? That actually, I do like relationship dynamics, and I do love artists. I love listening to them talk about creating. I might enjoy that, but it would depend on how it was presented.
They're not going to highlight that creative side of it. It's going to be the other.
Talk to me about your process.
Like, can we play in the hot tub? Let's compose a song in the hot tub.
That's exactly what it's going to be.
I know it's what it'll be. What?
I'm done. I can't say anymore.
So that's The Bachelor, Listen to Your Heart. It's been green-lighted by ABC, and that's most of the details that they have for now. So it's a reality dating competition for musicians.
Here's what, okay. I'm just going to throw this
thought
out here.
you were done.
I'm looking at this picture of The Bachelor, and what I want to do is I want to take each one of these women aside, and I want to talk to them about their value. I'm just like, you know what? Listen, you're valuable as a person. You shouldn't be on this reality show trying to sell yourself to some man. If he doesn't recognize your value, get out.
Some just want to be on TV.
I know. That's another
It's
part
a
where I'm
stepping
like,
stone for other stuff, and you're just starting off that way. Treat it like an acting job.
And you don't want to, I don't think marriage should be about an acting
But
job.
it's not really.
So it's all a big lie?
It is a big lie.
I'm watching John Wick. Forget it.
Everybody likes to watch it. That's a lie, too.
But we go in knowing it's a lie. Okay? This pretends at truth. Oh, it drives me crazy.
This is the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Sometimes I go back and forth on whether or not to talk about the depression that I struggle with, because if you're not depressed, hearing me talk about it, you're probably either like, A, bro, you've heard it enough, or B, you're like, gosh, that's just so bad. It sucks to be you so bad. And like, I'm just talking about it because, just like you would talk about your car, it's just part of your life. This is part of my life.
This is the time where it really starts to affect people, and not everybody realizes they might fight it throughout the rest of the year. But if it's going to hit you, this is when you usually feel the worst.
Yesterday, it was bad. Like it was bad because one of the things, like there are all kinds of things across the board, because depression is kind of a mental illness. So it's not just a matter of being like, boy, I sure am sad today. So like yesterday afternoon, I was like very tired, but it's tired in a way that's not.
It's not sleepy
normal.
tired.
Yeah, it's not normal. It's like this other kind of tired. And I can kind of recognize it when it comes on. You're like, oh my gosh, here we go. And like I was just so angry and so frustrated and so overwhelmed and all these things. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. And so I decided, I was like, I'm going to call somebody and talk to them. And I literally thought, I was like, I cannot just keep dumping on friends and family. Now, see, most friends and family would have been like, no, you can call me. But that's another part of the depression. You don't want to reach out for help. Like, you just don't want to. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to God like I would talk to my friend on the phone. And so I got out my journal and wrote some of it out. And then I talked to God, and I was just like, I'm so this and I'm so that. And this is so unfair. And like all this. I mean, you
unload.
I just did. And I even telling you about it and laughing about it, I know that there's something mildly pathetic about it, but it's like, what do you want me to do? Like, it just is what it is. I don't get to choose it. I have to deal with it, whether I choose it or not. And so I was like, well, I got to go out and take a walk. I hate walking. Walking's stupid. And so I did. I went out and took a walk. I walked for like half an hour. And when I got back, I felt better. And I just had to think in terms of, sometimes you have to, even though you don't want to, like you have to cope. Like life has thrown something at you. You don't like it. Maybe it's not your fault. You don't want to, but you either cope with it or you don't. And then you either cope with it in a healthy way or an unhealthy way. And so did I want to write in my journal yesterday afternoon like a whiny whatever? No. Did I need to? Yes. Did I want to go on a walk yesterday? No. It made me furious to put my coat on and go outside for a walk.
That was healthy coping.
But I coped. And when it was all done, I felt better. And so I'm telling you all of this to, one, I want you to know that if you're in circumstances like that, listen, it's not a failure to cope and to choose to cope in a healthy way, one. And two, whatever your circumstances are, you can absolutely go to God with what's going on. Does part of me feel a little dumb about it? Yeah, I do. Sometimes I don't even want to tell you guys about it, but I think it's worth talking about. But you talk to God about what's going on, just like you would to a friend on the phone. Tell him what's happening, and don't put on some big fake speech like, God, thank you for this day and help people in Africa, but I'm perfectly fine. All right. It's fine to pray for people in Africa, but it's okay for you to talk to God about where you are today. Are you excited about what just happened at school? Talk to him about it. Are you whining and upset because you have to write an email? I don't know, whatever. Talk to God about what's going on, because it is better to face it head on and cope with it in a healthy way than it is to, slide into some sort of a funk or end up doing something unhealthy if you don't deal with it.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I'm going to call it the classic good news, bad news scenario. The good news is they are making Stranger Things Season 4.
Sure, we all expect that.
The bad news is they're going to start filming in a couple of weeks.
Well, when does it come out? It's not like till next year.
Be done already.
It's not. That's not how they work. Don't rush them. They're not. You can't. You got to wait years.
Oh, speaking of Russian, they're going to be filming in the locations that were used for the HBO show Chernobyl.
Ooh.
Because a significant part of the show is going to take place in Russia.
That's an interesting
and so
tidbit there.
They're in like Lithuania or something. I can't remember exactly where it is they're going to be filming. And I wouldn't have to remember if I'd pull it up and read it to you.
No.
But why would I go to all that
Listen,
effort?
you want to give just a little bit of the news, so then they have to go find the rest.
Right.
We can't do everything for you.
It's not my job to provide it for you. I'm not a broadcaster. No. It's not what I do.
Do we at least remember when the next season is?
I was correct. It is Lithuania.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think they've announced a date for it. I mean, I assume it's probably 2021. I'll bet we don't get it this year.
No, I don't think so.
Because that's what they've done in the past. There's almost been like 18 months
in between seasons. And it's not taking that long to film it. It just they space it out.
Well, if they take their time, I actually thought what you're saying right now. I had a similar thought because I was like, you know what? This is actually smart of Netflix to space it out because one of the things Netflix needs is for you to stay signed up.
They do. And they know that if they just slowly give you stuff every so often.
And there's I have a lot of things in my queue on Netflix, but I don't really watch them. And they know.
But you're not canceling.
I can't cancel it now.
You can cancel, but that's the thing. You can cancel months you don't use it.
Yeah.
But I know it's so much work, isn't it?
The thing is, too, Nikki, I appreciate what you're saying, but
we all say it, we don't do it.
I still have to finish this second season of Lost in Space. Everybody says it's actually a lot better than the first.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're spacing out their bigger, not like Lost in Space. I don't think to them is maybe the biggest, but they're picking their projects to then keep you strung along through the process.
Let me tell you what, the Venn diagram between Stranger Things and Lost in Space. It's bigger than you think, but not as big as I think.
Okay, that's somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between those two is where that overlap happens, for sure.
So Stranger Things, the next season, will start filming soon.
Yeah, should be done already. I need it now.
Not going to get it.
What if they could just have it ready for me in July like they did last year?
You would think that they could turn it around that fast, but they're not going to.
They should.
Probably not.
Would it be great if they did?
No, don't rush them. You're causing problems.
I mean, I do agree that I don't want them to rush it and do poorly. Mm-hmm. But I would like for them to rush it and do very well.
Because you want to actually have a show you want to watch, not a show you're just going to put in your queue.
Well, I mean, Lost in Space, I want to watch. You know what? I made the stupid mistake of having a friend where I was like, we'll watch it together. I'm never seeing it. At some point, I'm just going to have to cheat on him.
You're going to have to keep going.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, what are you doing? What if I am?
You haven't seen these commercials every morning?
No.
How have you missed them?
Oh, my gosh. You're going to be a girl in a bubble.
Maybe.
Big, soapy bubble.
So in the morning, I don't think you're supposed to put soap in it, but in the mornings when I work out, every other commercial has been in our area. They're having this hot tub expo this weekend. Oh, my gosh. I want a hot tub.
You guys can't see me face palming right now.
No, you're encouraging me in my endeavor. It's medical.
It's not medical.
Hey, I also found out that if you want to buy a hot tub and you have like a medical reason why you need to have the bubbles and stuff, you don't have to pay sales tax. Like you can get your doctor to
shut up.
Write a note.
And you know what? I'll bet you've got enough problems with your jaw that you could absolutely get that written off.
I can do that.
You absolutely could get that written off.
100% can have that. So then you get the note from your doctor and then there's no tax.
Can I ask you a question now? And I don't want you to get mad at me.
No, that's not what we do in this space.
Okay. What about Eric's basement?
What about? It'll be right outside the basement.
I know, but like you're going to get a hot tub before he gets his basement?
Well, he has a basement. You mean like finishing the basement?
Come on.
He wants his theater.
You know what I mean.
He wants his little theater with the speakers. Is that what you're saying?
His little speaker with his little speakers.
They're not little speakers.
No, they're not actually.
Ridiculous.
When Eric talks to me, there's part of me that's
I don't even know what you guys are talking about with that stuff.
We're going to have an earthquake, and it's going to be Eric's fault. Like what
he wants like 13 speakers.
What he's building is going to cause tectonic problems.
I know. So I don't even know what that is. I just want to focus on health. You know, this is January. This is a new us.
Do you ever go, like Nikki and I are Pizza Planet members, do you ever go to their like little massage place in there?
No, but I was wondering how it was, but I'm not a Black Card member.
Oh, you're not?
No, I just have the normal one.
Nikki and I are the cheapies.
We're the cheap ones.
We're the $10 a month people.
But I really want a hot tub, and I've always wanted one. And then I saw that they're having like smashing prices. So I think I'm going to go.
Shut
just
up.
to look. It's going to be so bad.
They're smashing and slashing. Do you understand?
It's
one thing to just slash, but they're smash.
It's basically, it's all like they have to get rid of last year's stuff. So, but even the year before.
That's another thing that's funny is I know they put out like a new TV model every year, but like how often do you need to revise a hot tub?
It's the same. They come out each year, I think.
They have quantum dots now?
Yeah, it's like
got a new 8K hot tub.
And I want to buy the model that will be the old one.
She's like, you know what? I could do a 17 or an 18. I don't have to have a 19 or a 20.
Well, then I take it that's a no. You don't want to go. You don't want to go to the Hot Tub Expo.
You know what, Nikki?
They have swim spas.
What's that?
That's the ones that are like longer and taller.
So it's like a treadmill for swimming?
Yeah, you can swim laps and stuff.
I think that would, I mean, maybe it's great, but that seems like that would really suck.
I don't have enough room between the deck above and where the hot tub would go. Yeah. So I don't have enough space for one of those because they're pretty tall.
But a hot tub, though.
But a hot tub, I can.
Nikki has wanted a hot tub pretty much for as long as I've known her. Forever. So what if I can get one? Hey, they are smashing.
They are. So next time you'll see the commercial if you go work out in the morning. It's just all the time. And so I texted Eric. It's like, oh, there's an expo.
Eric needs to take his camera. And you need to, if not go live, he needs to edit your reactions to different hot tubs into a video.
No, I don't go to many
watch that.
I don't go to many expos. And I don't mean this in a mean way, but sometimes with expos, it's not like, I think, a quality product that maybe they're pushing.
Yeah.
And so for this
that is a legitimate concern.
This one, and I feel like some of those other ones, when they're free and free with parking, I feel like the quality is even less. And I think this one's free. So the ones that make you pay, at least that's something.
Seems like you need to go to a Scioto Valley, Nikki.
Something like that.
That's the commercial I always see.
It's the same. They're also having a sale because it's the time.
But are they smashing?
No.
They're only slashing?
And I'm not saying maybe them, but others, as I've been pricing them before, I have caught places that one part of the year they would have a price. And then during the time a lot of people go buy swim stuff, they raise the price up on the same item. And I think that's bad.
That's business.
That's what they're doing. But we'll see what happens this weekend.
Wait, Mike says when looking at hot tubs, don't forget it's about $4,500 to hook up the electric.
Yeah, for it.
$400 to $500 to hook it up to the electric. No, Eric can plug it in.
No, I have an electrician coming Monday to hook up stuff for something else. He's putting in lights, but he's also putting in an outlet in case
for the hot tub?
If I want to. Because I need an outlet anyways.
I just had to take my glasses off because I can't face palm enough through my glasses.
Why can't you support me with this? Why can't you?
You know what? I don't care.
Why can't you?
It's more about enjoying you squirming through the whole thing. And you're going to the expo Sunday.
No, I'm going Saturday.
Slashing, smashing.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
The end game of human existence is how can we get out of doing something? I mean, there are probably people out there that don't feel that way. They probably get up in the morning and just can't wait to be responsible. But then there are people like us and, well, maybe me. I won't
You're not going to loop me in there?
I'm not going to loop you into that. It's fine.
I don't want someone to necessarily do everything, but it would be nice to have help with certain items.
Yeah, so Nikki, maybe that's Bali is for you.
I don't know. So Samsung unveiled during CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, one of their new robot like AI assistance things, and it's called Bali. And it's like BB-8. They're calling it like a small, looks like a softball, honestly, and it rolls around, and it's supposed to be your personal helper at your house or wherever you have him. What is it?
What's it going to do? It's a little ball that follows you around.
So it's supposed to, I feel like you need a few things in order to think that this might actually be a help. First off, I don't think you have carpet in your house. It almost like you have to have hardwood floors for this little ball.
I have a mix, but sure.
Because, sometimes things that are like that don't work well with the carpet to wood floor thing. But if you have that, and if your entire home is a smart house, and we're talking like your entire home. So this kind of looks more down the line in the future, but basically this ball would you're waking up and it would come in and raise the curtains for you, turn on the TV, or know what you would like to wake up. It would play music for you. It would turn on the devices to do that
so it's
instead
like
of you.
A remote control that walks around with you.
Yes, but it would learn what you would like. So it would know, as I'm waking up, will you turn on the news or will you turn on RadioU or something? And it would have that. So it kind of just come into your room at the time that it knows you wakes up or need to wake up.
Okay.
And then say you're going to the kitchen, it could start the coffee. Or it could do, turn on the TV in that room for you.
Yeah.
If you're working out, it will turn on the TV for you, or it'll be a camera, show you and change on the TV. Like, as you're working out, it'll show you your form and stuff.
Okay.
None of this is... I don't know if it's interesting to anybody yet.
Okay, I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking about it because it's like, well, would I really like that? It sounds like, okay, you're not going to know what this is, but Hado, he was a character in Gundam who was he was basically a bouncy ball robot.
Yeah, that's
what
this is.
There was a little ball that you could play with him, or he could do things for you.
So with this, say you have a dog in the little promo, they showed, the dog, you go to work and the dog spills something. So the little ball will set out the Roomba sort of vacuum cleaner that you have. It'll go and clean it up for you, or it'll send you videos of your dog and show you what's going on in the house.
Okay.
So it's like a helper.
To me, it doesn't feel like enough. Meaning that I feel like the form factor of a little ball that goes around the house with you isn't what you're looking for. It seems like you already have enough smart devices that what you really want is just like a whole home AI.
Yeah, you have to have a whole home AI in order for this to really work with it.
Well, what I mean is...
But it's supposed to follow you around.
Like, there's all these smart devices. He's the AI running the smart devices.
Exactly.
So then why not just set up a hub and put cameras, and then it can just follow you around via camera, knowing where you are.
It's a cute little tennis ball. I mean, it's a cute little thing. So basically they're saying they want Bali to keep our secrets, and we want AI we can trust. So that's what they want to bring to this.
It's hilarious. Like the buzzword at CES this year has absolutely been privacy. And oh my gosh, they're trying to sell you privacy by selling you a ton of things that invade your privacy. Mm-hmm. It is double speak to an extent that has never been practiced.
So I feel like in the future, if you had a very smart home, I would like it if this came with your home and this was like your home's remote control and it just followed you around.
Yeah. Well, I'm not against it. Maybe.
No news on when it would come out, though, or how much.
Here's what I need it to be. I'm okay with a ball, but I don't want it rolling around. I want it floating through the air. I don't want to hear any sound coming from it, so don't
you
give
just want it to be there?
I want a personal assistant that floats around me, and that's fine.
No, this one's rolling.
Yeah, I don't
it's not floating yet.
That's the part I don't like.
But maybe that's what it moves towards in the future.
We got to get this anti-gravity thing figured out.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
All right, y'all, I got to crowdsource my own problem. You there? Can you help me? Is this on?
Don't hit him, remember? Just
Chris
be gentle.
Chris is not going to tell me what to do.
No, I meant don't hit the listeners.
Oh, well, I was just making sure they were there. Okay, here's where I'm at. I bought, back in October, I think I bought a couple of new T-shirts from T-Fury. They have changed their shirts now. And so I washed them, and they did okay.
Yeah.
And so I did a trial run in the dryer because one of the things that I love about T Fury, and this is a t-shirt website, is that their old shirts, like I'm wearing one under this sweatshirt now. I bought this Goonies one.
Yeah.
This thing, I can put it in the dryer. Like
Fine.
it is tough as nails. I've had it for 2 years, and it is almost in as good a shape as when I bought it. And that's going through the dryer, a couple times a month.
But then on the other side.
So I tried these new ones. I mean, it was like, oh, hey, did somebody wash some napkins?
Did you buy the premium
it's my
ones?
shirt. They don't even sell the...
They don't do that one?
No.
Because we usually would buy stuff from Designed by Humans, and they also would do the same thing. So I don't know if they buy so many shirts and like they go through different qualities.
I'm sure.
Because sometimes you'll get an amazing quality shirt, and then other times it's just worthless after you wash it.
So they have, what is this, company called Threadless. I have a little Christmas money left, and I was thinking about maybe buying a few new shirts.
Yeah.
And they're having a sale where all of their shirts are, I think, like 50% off, and they have like 3 tiers. So their top tier shirt, their premium level shirt, they're like $17. But that means nothing to me. Like, I don't know. Is it a good shirt? Is it not a good shirt? I've never bought anything from Threadless before. It's pretty much the same artists that are available everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if anybody has ever bought a shirt from Threadless and what their experience was, and how long ago was that? Because that's the other thing.
How many washes ago was it?
Well, with T Fury, like I bought those shirts and they've held up so well, but obviously they're not using the same kinds of shirts that they were 2 years ago when I bought some of them.
I see a Godzilla one. There's always Godzilla shirts with these companies. The Kaiju Sentai.
Sure.
That's a good one. You should do that one.
There are shirts on here that I absolutely love. Like, they're really good shirts. But, just checking.
Okay, so if anybody's used it, you just want to know?
Have you ever done Threadless? So text me, 877-2-RADIO-U. I would like to know if the stuff is any good, because I'm looking for a place that... And again, when I say a nice T-shirt, if you don't understand what that means...
Then you're not getting it. We're not shopping at the same place.
Yeah, Nikki and I wear T-shirts every day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we wear sweatshirts over T-shirts, but we're still wearing T-shirts.
Still have the T-shirts on, too.
And so I need a T-shirt that's going to last more than 3 wears.
Because that's all we're going to be wearing.
Exactly.
Well, you can text anytime about anything, 877-2-RADIO-U. Or if you ever want to join us, a RadioU Riot, that's our Facebook page, and you can message or just post it on the wall.
Yeah.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Let's see what Kelly Clarkson thinks about my singing.